Our story begins a few years ago. The city of Barrichas was rallying its strength to fend off the creatures of the deep, and its people were gathering in renewal. To restore art, to restore culture, and to reclaim the city that was always rightfully theirs. A young dwarf, barely a whisker on his chin, walks alongside an older man, a mane of ginger framing a smiling face. They worked the stone together, hammer and chisel making right the destitution of their heritage after ash claimed all that there once was. Yet even still, there was a silence between them. A woman was missing from their family, and though her voice was not heard, her presence still was felt. The scene shifts, and their workshop now has a name. Silverworth's Stonecraft. An obvious name, straight to the point, but now the silence between the swinging of a hammer was filled by the soft tapping of a cane. A new dwarven man, bearing a proud goatee, watches with empty eyes the resonance of care his two predecessors place into their work. Though his eyes could not betray his envy, his heart held it still. In the years that passed, the trio worked in tandem, taking jobs, assigning orders, and making the city safe once more, at least architecturally. Yet the years are never kind to the elders of the world, and soon the ginger mane was stained with grey. Hands that could move mountains now struggled to even hold a hammer. Yet two sons, bloodkin or not, worked tirelessly to fill any absence that the mother's silence left. The view shifts again. The proud man, bent and broken, lays in a bed surrounded by pale pink flowers. His wife's favourite, he would mutter, whenever their gaudy appearance gave pause to those that would visit his bedside, and the once bare face of his son now held a familiar ginger mane. That son sat with him through it all, his kindness even allowing for the company of the silence of the missing mother. And as a firm hand grasps a withered one, something is held between them. The last memento of the young man's mother, a wedding band, hand carved from a cluster of amethyst. It twinkled. The carefully wrought silver band, speckled with the shards of pink mineral, denoted a steadfast and beautiful love. But a memento is not a replacement for the absence that she has left. As the wise man gasps his last breath, a request is given, alongside the ring, of course. And tears begin to stain the pale white bedsheets as time marches on, ignorant of the pain that it has wrought. The tapping of a cane and undoing of a lock herald the return of the second son. And though their father was gone, the would-be siblings could not fill his absence. Grief turned to rage. Soon the siblings separated, and the final request of their father lay dormant. 3 years of silence has haunted Alphonse. 3 years of absence stained his life, and the burden of his grief has grown. He decides to write missives, a request for guides, and even one to be sent to his brother, for their father's grave lies within the clasp of the mountains, and it would do them both good to see him again. The city was quiet when Carmine's cane tapped on the door of Silverworth's Stonecraft once more. The mirror in the edge of the room only reflecting enough light to capture the visage of an angered dwarf. The words they exchanged were suffocated under the weight of their great city. The promise made in wrath raged like an empty flame. Tears stained the stonework as the brothers parted ways once more. Now the sun rises, and dancing shadows occupy the outskirts of the city. The designated meeting point along the eastern wall was given to allow easier passage into the mountains, and at least one brother awaits your arrival. The sounds of the waking dwarven city are slow. They move with held breaths and unhurried expressions as bakeries release the soft scents of their produce as the ovens begin to roar to life. Soft footfalls begin. Quentin. Surprisingly, even in your age, you seem to have arrived before the others. How has your morning been, and what has happened up until this point?
Well, other than the constant stares, for the most part, it is rather uneventful. Most of the people tend to move out of his way, just to leave him be. He took a bit of a time to get some tea, get his stomach ready for a long journey, and headed out across town. He's
Your small frame does not give many pause, but the large red hat upon your head does. Many would presume you to be a sickening dwarf by the length of your beard, but the slightness of your shoulders betrays a different lineage. Even still, the lazy yawning of the city allows you easy passage. As you arrive at the meeting place, there's a dwarf standing there, pack at their side, awaiting to meet you. The missive spoke of a man with red hair, a beard, of course, and a handful of tattoos, though any attempts at description were quite lost. The man in front of you wears a simple leather garb, though his eyes are not looking anywhere, seemingly vacant, not in tiredness or even to be lazy. You would presume him to be blind. Even still, his ears twitch readily at the sounds of footsteps that seem to be skirting around.
yeah, sir. Are you there?
Ah, hello? Yes? He turns to you, but his eyes do not focus upon you.
I was informed I was supposed to meet up with meet up with someone here. You wouldn't happen to know that? Anything happening in the area?
I suppose the name Alphonse Silverworth is the one you're looking for. And yes, even if he'll be here. He sort of cuts himself off mid-sentence. He extends a hand towards you. The name's Carmine.
He will cast Mage Hand and shake his hand.
His head tilts subtly. A kind of tilt that you're used to. It is the inquiry of a polite man who does not want to voice the question that has just assailed his senses. He draws his hand back and nods.
Sorry, it is for the better of both. My hands are a bit old and not quite enjoyable to touch.
Well, thank you for the clarification, I suppose. Uh, what was your name again?
Oh, you may call me Quentin Disselbox.
Yeah, Thistlebox. Gnomish, I take it.
Yes.
You'll nod. Well, you're welcome to wait. I suppose there'll be more than just an elderly gnome walking alongside us. And the more company will keep the problems at bay.
Certainly hope so. Although you look a capable sort.
Aye. A short sword helps me do me work. But I don't intend to. Unless something really goes wrong. The mountains are unpredictable at most times.
Well, my talents are a bit more scholarly, personally, but I do have some ability to defend myself, so I should be able to help you if such talents are needed.
I suppose you'll try and grab them with your unpleasant hands, is that it?
If I'm close enough to be touching them, it's a problem.
You continue your small talk as more footsteps begin to echo along the yawning roads of Barrichas. This echo is composed of two voices, however. Ashling and Zever. The meeting is to occur in about an hour or so. Your morning is just beginning. What have you both been up to before you leave the city?
Ashling would have, surprisingly a morning person, probably woken up early, found breakfast wherever she could with what little money she has left from gathering her bearings for this travel, and probably woken up her smaller kobold companion. And she would probably be humming a little tune to herself while walking around and seeing the city for what it is, really. She seems to be always looking around, but perhaps not really seeing what stands in front of her.
And while Aisling would have been sightseeing in a piece, I'd say, Zavar would have been stressed, aggressively writing in her large book that she usually carries on her back, constantly looking at the pocket watch in her, on her, and going like, "We will be late. It will be your fault. I know it."
We will not be late. You're overreacting. Everything will be fine. We have an hour still, no?
An hour passes first. Mm-hmm.
Well, don't stress yourself before the travel even begins. Everything will be alright, I see.
That will be easy for you to say. As she trips and spills ink. Nah. No. Oh god!
What? We will find you some new ink once we're done with this travel. I know the book is important, but you're overstocked by quite a lot anyways.
Yes, I guess you're right. She rips out the page. I'm sure I'll find a better one.
Ink stains.
What are you noting down anyways?
Go ahead.
Well, everything, of course. All the people, things to eat, things to do.
Sounds like a fun read.
Your words lilt as ink stains the stones of Barrichas. Gathering yourselves and avoiding the mess, one eyes seek to uncover the secrets of everything, and the other simply takes in the atmosphere. The gruff, dwarven language speaks of a history of giants, but still the intermingled, delicate stonework holds not the steadfast nature that you would assume. It is delicate, wavy in spaces, as if it defies the very stone it is carved upon. Yet still, your footsteps lead you to two figures. There is a small man with a very large beard and a bright red hat, conversing with a dwarven man, a goatee well kept on his face. It seems that neither of them are really making much eye contact. You cannot tell because one is blind and the other wears a hat a little too far down his face.
As we approach and take them in, Ashling will sort of kneel down to Zavar's height and go, "Are you seeing that giant hat?"
Yes. I thought maybe dwarf, but no. No. Maybe no. Maybe not.
Well, the one with the beard seems to be... At least he looks like Alphonse.
They do
Let's
both.
go see what's
They do both possess beards. But I say the description fits one better. Yeah.
As you approach, Carmine's head turns to look at you. Oh, hello. He sort of awkwardly waves in your general direction. You hear about the Alphonse missive?
Aye.
Yes.
Well, he's not here yet. My name's Carmine. Related, I suppose.
Well,
Hello. Nice to meet you all.
Oh,
hello, old
this
man.
is Clinton.
What are you, some kind of gnome?
So, was it a hat that gave it off, or perhaps a statue?
Yes.
It's the hat.
Yes. Yes, I...
You're also here for the missive, I assume.
Oh, yes. I assume you're the rest that'll be joining us today? Or shall there be more? I'm not quite sure.
I guess we'll have to wait until he's here.
Indeed. Your hat is very large.
You are very observant.
Yes, do you store things in it? I'll poke at it.
Nothing you wouldn't normally store in a hat? What, can you not? It's very rude.
I'm sorry. My apology. Well, see, I'm not very good with hats.
And,
Gestures at horns.
How about personal space?
People told me I'm also not very good with that either.
We're about
Begins to
hear it
write in
again.
book.
Careful, little dragon. He's got some really fucked up hands that you don't want to be touching.
Oh, that's
Oh my.
most interesting.
Are you sick, old man?
I'm just old.
Oh,
Is it an age condition? Or is it normal for gnomes?
He shrugs.
You don't know? Did you forget? I don't know more.
can't be to old age, I don't think. Maury's hands stayed soft to the touch till the day she died.
Maybe it's a lack of moisturizer.
Maybe. I'm not quite sure. It was about what was it, some time ago. You just, like everyone else, just had them.
Continues
Maybe
to
you
write
stole.
down.
It feels bizarre, but I at least understand the ideas of studies. Are you a biologist or something?
No, I
A
just
historian?
people forget. I need to know.
Well, like, that is certainly respectable. I myself am an archaeologist.
So have you written down your studies somewhere too?
You have a feeling that he's squinting, but you don't know why.
Pushes up glasses.
Why exactly? Yes, as anyone else of our historian would have their findings recorded, of course.
So do you store it in the hat?
You are really fascinated with the hat. It's just to make sure tall people don't step on me.
Oh,
The mysteries of the hat continue. As elsewhere in Barrichas, new faces still begin to approach. Frosk and Flopper. You have about 30 minutes before you are to assemble at the meeting point. The city has been mostly kind to you and your grung heritage. They don't seem to care whether or not you are poisonous, simply if you can integrate with the locals, you could call it. How would you say your time has been, and what have you been doing in this morning leading up to your meeting?
Well, Flopper would get up early in the morning and study the view maps he had of the mountain. Although it's not much detail, it still has some resemblance what to expect, and where he maybe could see some of his great worms that his main goal is to find. After some time, he would probably make some very distasteful but healthy food for his nephew Frosk when he wakes up.
Sorry, what?
he
What when I
he
wake up?
gathered worms and stuff to
Oh.
make a healthy but distasteful
Yes.
meal for
Oh,
you.
okay, nice. That is so kind.
Frosk has been spending his day sleeping, apparently. Having a big plan to indulge in these famous isopods of this town. However, he has now overslept and has to make do with good old Uncle Flopper's breakfast.
Better eat up if you want to grow up strong like me.
I am already stronger than you. What do you mean?
You're not stronger than me.
Have you seen my biceps?
Lexus.
What about him?
Look how big they are. Here, carry my axe.
Yes. Do you have magic? I don't think so.
Not everyone can be so nerdy like you.
You don't need to be a nerd to be a druid.
What, so it just comes for free?
Oh, of course not. You have to take care of the nature.
So you are nerding for
You
the
want
nature. Yes. And I
people.
am nerding for the sit-ups and the pull-ups. See?
Yes, we are both nerds, I guess.
Anyways, have you seen these isopod stands around? Hypothetically.
Yes. I think they're supposed to be underground.
Oh. Do we have time?
I don't think so. I think we're running quite short, actually. We should probably start moving.
Alright.
The echoes of a conversation that has no doubt happened numerous times over the disciplines of each other. Frosk and Flopper managed to wardle their way through the yawning city streets. There's no isopods here on the outskirts, sadly. The stores are not yet open. And your footfalls end up interrupting a similar conversation to one you just had over your lovely meal of worms, over the research of a gnomish gentleman and the insistence of what appears to be a kobold. There is a blind dwarf that looks exasperated at the already petulant conversation.
Oh, look, it must be them. Now remember, be polite.
I'm always polite.
Good.
Hello.
Good.
Walks up.
Carmine waves. Hello, if you're here for the Alphonse job, he's not here yet. My name's Carmine, and these are other people traveling with us. Careful of the gnome, he's got crazy hands.
Oh, me too.
Is that just going to be something we're going to tell everyone now? We're starting to be polite.
It does seem to be a very interesting feature here.
We're going to warn everyone about my old man hands.
It's alright.
Rude.
I'm wearing gloves.
You
Reach
also have
some
the
hand.
old man hands.
Frosk is
Can we get to
reaching
work
a
now?
hand
Can
towards
we move along? Introductions. Hello, I'm Quentin.
I'm Flopper, a
Uncle Flop.
druid and guide.
He's not taking. He's taking my hand, Uncle Flopper. What do I do?
Respect your elders.
I'm trying.
He'll mage hand you. It's fine. I just don't.
Frost does not know what the
You like-
fuck that is, and he'll be weirded out.
It's just a spell. Calm down. Nothing to harm you with.
He's
Take the
very
magical
insistent
hand now.
on not showing his hands.
Vicious.
It can't be as bad as my hands.
Show me your hands, Uncle Flopper.
We'll hold up his hands. Pretty bad.
Begins to write in book.
Starts
Cliff
mumbling
page.
to himself.
At least they're existent.
Future notes on Barrichas. People with a strange hand thing. Seems to be spreading fast.
Ashling will absolutely run up to Frosk and go, "Hi."
Oh, hello.
Still has his hand reached out.
I'll shake his hand, and I'll say, "You're a very tiny frog."
Tiny? I'm one of
Yes.
the largest in my clan.
He's actually quite big, yes.
You have clans? Oh, you
Of
need to
course.
tell me more.
Sorry?
Are you all the same color?
Oh no, we
Or not.
get mixed
Okay.
sometimes.
Mhm.
I thought you
You're
were.
so tiny. Why do you have such a huge axe?
Yes. How do you carry that?
Oh, I'm pretty strong.
It's not magical.
I don't think so.
Oh, it's from my suit.
Is it magical, Uncle?
No, of course not.
Of course
Stupid.
not.
Disappointing. But okay. Are you suggesting you're making magic soups make people stronger or make axes bigger?
Oh, only make you stronger.
Well,
Why?
You have to eat healthy if you want to grow up strong.
Oh yes, you should try your uncle's food sometime. It's very nice, especially if you're growing like me, and perhaps like you as well.
I am very happy with my height, thank you. Very much.
I don't know if I would.
Well,
He's travel size, you see.
So, Carmine, were you the one who selected the
up to ask.
retinue?
Slightly offended. That doesn't enter me.
Carmine looks down at Quentin. in his general direction. No. Alphonse is apparently the one that sent missives, and I don't know who he got to disperse them. It's rather an eclectic group we have, but I suppose that's what he wanted.
I mean, at least one of the frogs has a rather large axe. Is it something?
Yes, I am very proficient. Thank you.
Apparently have very good ears.
As you say that, across town, it's about 20 minutes until you've to arrive at the designated meeting point. Spinny! Tell us a little bit about yourself and your morning.
Spinny hasn't been doing much at this time. She's just like looking around different towns and doing a small sketch and doodle of anything that she sees around the city that kind of caught her attention. Since she's a warforged, she's just not eating much, just avoiding water generally, trying not to be oxidized. She seems to just be looking for a good time around the area. And before nothing happens, she will realize the time looking up at the sky, and she will turn into a ball and start rolling in the direction she thinks she needs to go.
The yawning city streets act as a highway for Spinny, who, due to the well-made stonework, has almost a clear shot, speed ramps and all, as she skirts around the waking members of the dwarvish community here. They don't quite judge you, nor see you as an outsider, merely a curiosity due to your construction. But they are not quite forward enough to attempt to stop you, at least not when you have garnered such momentum. The soft sound of screeching metal bouncing along the roadworks interrupts the petulant conversation around the biological implications of Frosk and his axe, and also the super hearing that apparently the rest of the party have acquired, as Spinny rolls and unfurls a few steps away.
You would see this metal ball that seems to have some fabric like pulling out of it. Seems to not having quite tucked in well. And it will stop just a few centimeters before hitting you guys. And it will slowly, with the sounds of clinking and clanking and hydraulic noises, just unfurl into Spinny, a tiny robot that just stands and looks up at you.
Interesting.
Sorry, is it here for the commission? Waves.
Oh, if you're talking about the Alphonse missive, yes. I'd hope this is all of us, but Alphonse himself hasn't bothered to show up yet.
Okay. Nice to meet you. Extends hand.
Carmine will also extend a hand, but he hasn't seen yours, so it's just awkwardly under yours. The name's Carmine.
Oh. Name is SP1NE. Nods.
What?
Spawone. Spawone?
Fine, definitely.
My creator used to call me Spinny.
Oh. Welcome, Spinny. Thanks for showing up.
It's my pleasure.
So, are you named after the movement you do, or was that like, oh my god?
I do not think that's the case. Turns into ball, spins around and
Sits down, begins to ride.
I know this might come off as a bit rude, but would there be some amount of time I might be able to, inspect you? Is one of the old constructs from history where you were developed, the mechanics of your body? So much of it could explain where you came from, the civilization you came from.
Be careful. He has old man hands.
Old man hands. She will pull out a paper.
Apparently,
write
that's
something,
the only thing about me that
step
matters
away.
in my hat. Oh well, another time.
Oh man, hand. What are you?
Just-
That one apparently also
I'm
got
a
them.
druid. I'm also a grung. Nice to meet you, SP1.
Nice to meet you. Extend hand. Pokes.
Oh, you want to shake my hand? Sure. He takes the hand. That's anything.
You notice-
Interesting.
You notice as this construct clasps your hand, Flopper, that they seem to be immune to whatever flavor of toxins you produce. Though, surely as a civilian you tend to attempt to keep such secretions to a minimum. Spinny has not reacted at all. Their metal frame perhaps
Interesting.
acting as a barrier.
I don't normally enjoy touching my hand.
It is squishy.
Yes.
Oh, me next, me next.
Grabs the
Extend
hand of Fransk.
I'm Flopper, by the way.
Oh, nice to meet you, Flopper. Designation SP1NE. We'll move to the other guy.
And then I reach out hand.
She will grab your hand.
Ashling, the robot is shaking all the frog hands. And they're giving off a weird aura when doing so.
The name is Ferosk. Ferosk är ganska morsamma dyr. But you can call me Frosk.
Nice to meet you, Frost. Name's SP1NE. Shakes hand.
Nice to meet you, Ginny.
Nods. You can call me that. I like frogs.
I think she likes me.
Ashling will sort of kneel down to Carmine and go, Mr. Carmine, I'm unsure whether you're able to see this or not, but your brother seems to have recruited an old man with a large hat, a robot, and 2 tiny frogs.
You know, I can't see it, but I understand. Listen, Alphonse is he's a passionate man, shall we say, and I don't think these were direct hand picks from my impressions. The mountain pass shouldn't be too difficult where we're going.
Certainly didn't
We-
hire us for a subtle mission.
No. Listen, even fools get real subtle when there's wings flapping above your head. So we'll make do.
Don't worry, everyone. His brother is a nice man. He helped me identify my funny rock. Well, it just ended up being mold, but it was quite funny.
Funny rock.
I still think you should have believed me before you went into all of that, that it is indeed mold.
Well, you gotta ask a professional now, don't you?
Am I not professional enough?
Your profession is everything now, isn't it? That's too much. Especially for your tiny, tiny self.
I'm not that small.
I'm trying to write the encyclopedias or something. Seems like you're more about collecting information for the sake of collecting information than actual divulging into the arts.
Well, you need to get as much as you can. Everything's gone. It seems, after all.
Creations of encyclopedias may help prevent in the future if such an occurrence were to happen again.
Indeed. I've learned many languages already. I'm sure there are more to find out. Maybe even ones that are forgotten. You only know when you listen to people, what they do.
How much longer should we wait?
Well, it's a difficult question. Because I don't quite know exactly where we're going. I can't very well navigate myself. But, heavy footsteps interrupt the man's words, appearing out of a side alley cutting through the yawning streets of Barrichas, the city finally getting some semblance of awareness as the doorways of shops begin to flip their signage. The bells that herald customers begin to ring. And for many of you, your first sight of Alphonse Silverworth is given. A dwarvish man, standing about 4'1", boasts a wide mane of ginger hair. His beard is well groomed, well kept, but denotes the youth of him, even if it is betrayed by the kindness still in his eyes. There are 2 tattoos along his cheek, one of a star and one of a crescent moon. The reckless nature of youth seems to motivate him. His pack seems a little too heavy, his steps a little too assured, as if the slight deviance in the pathway might send him tumbling. Yet still, he clears his throat and begins to speak out. Right, hello! My name's Alphonse. You might have heard of me, you might have not. That's fine. The gate's due to be open in just a few minutes, and we'll make our way out east. Once we're on the road, we can make sure we're all acquainted. Sorry to keep you waiting. Life happens, and I had to see someone.
Good. Ready to go whenever we are. I guess all prepared. Most people just seem to be talking, not preparing. So I'm assuming everyone came prepared.
Splendid, splendid.
Aye,
Good.
aye.
Right. Carmine, make sure you got your cane. I'll be trying to guide you as best I can. I know you didn't expect to come here or wanted to come here, but you're damn well gonna see him. Carmine doesn't bother to answer, instead hoisting a pack onto his back and grabbing a finely adorned cane that begins to tap on the stone city streets. As the
Uncle,
party
I
begin
don't
to
think
move
he's
out.
gonna see anything. Actually.
Don't underestimate people.
Do you require assistance?
Oh no, Spinny. I'm alright. He's just a grouchy one. A real cunt when he realizes he's been late. If it was me, he'd be chewing me out on the street. But, you know, that's life.
That's why you need to get self-employed, so you don't have to deal with people like that.
Oh, I'm not exactly employed. Will you stop yapping and come on? Gate's only gonna be open for a few minutes, and I paid enough money for it. Alphonse begins to waddle assertedly towards the edge of the city. He does not look back, for he expects you all to follow. And
Waddle along.
leisurely. Yeah. Carmine walks leisurely, his cane tapping a soft rhythm into the stone streets. The guards at the edge of this portion of Barrichas seem tired, as if the awakening of the city has not quite reached them. The east is not densely populated, not yet. There are many destitute homes that have yet to be fully rebuilt and assured architecturally, and it is to be kept safe under the presumed dangers of people sneaking into the city. Yet still, with a heavy bribe presumably on their belt, the portcullis begins to rise with the heavy clinking of metal chains, allowing you exit up towards the mountain pass. The slope is steep, Though fortunately, even for the old or smaller of you, dwarves share your diminutive stature and take careful steps, almost reverent of the stonework. The path winds upwards. The altitude, you can feel it in your lungs, you can feel it in the drying of your mouth, and soon it begins to level off. Alphonse begins to slow, turning. Right. Now, sorry about rushing. Those gods, they're finicky about time, and my fault. For those of you that know me, I'm Alphonse. For those that don't, I'm Alphonse. I need to see my father. One way or another, I gotta see him. None of you particularly were selected, admittedly. However, the scribes amongst you, I want you to record the details. Every etching that we pass through, and the monument to my father, I want it written. He was too good of a man to die and be forgotten. He lived while being lost once. Some of you already know the weight of that sin. This journey is not just about a son who wishes that he could see his dad again. It's about a son who wants history not to be tampered with. We clear?
Oh,
Very well,
yes.
very well.
Be honored to be able to record such things. So make sure it is as clean and unbiased as I am able.
Devar will climb into Ashling's hood, get out the book, and start writing.
Spinny will probably head ahead and try to make sure that the road ahead is safe. She's like, circle mode, just
Ooh. All good.
just tumbling
yeah.
and rolling.
You can go ahead and roll me a survival check. Flopper, I would like you to roll me a nature check.
I believe I have an extra proficiency bonus for natural guide, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Spinny, the path along this sort of eastern walkway is a curious one. You see evidence of hewn stonework, as if this at one point was the promenade for a town or city unto itself. Not one that would have been reclaimed in the many years from the Age of Ashen Names, but perhaps something older. There is no familiar stonework, only the facet that there was stonework. Similarly, there is not much life. Strangely, there is no game. There are no rabbits. There's an absence of birds in the sky here. You can presume, based on rumor, that the nature of wyverns and other great winged beasts dissuades much natural life from venturing up the mountains. There does not seem to be any problems in your path, at least for now.
Seems like we are safe for now.
Bye.
Flopper, as you study the natural composition of the area, there is a simple fact that stands out. The stonework underneath your feet not only is hewn, but it is transmuted. It is not a natural formation here. It is more similar to the cavernous stones found deep underneath the pressures of the earth. It is quite resistant to fire and water, and it seems to have been built from a lasting structure, though whatever walls were transmuted have long since fallen. Similarly, you denote the lack of natural life, at least along this portion of your travel.
Alpha would also be mapping the path they walk on. They're walking.
Not a problem. Right. Carmine's whispered your names to me to avoid any awkwardness. Is there anything any of you would ask? I know the missive said 50 gold pieces. It's a rich sum for the amount of you. But is there anything else that you'd be seeking? Perhaps connections or an alternate payment could be arranged.
Oh, well, personally, this is more of a personal interest. The gold is a bonus. Perhaps rights to come in and study the area outside of this? These journeys? I do wish to fully record everything here.
There's been attempts to move some of the archaeological efforts up into the mountains as opposed to beneath them. If you stay within the city, I can make sure you're first in line. I don't particularly have rights over this, just history. Funny enough.
Well, then perhaps connecting me with the people who do.
Young lad, I'll do my best.
Yes, I could always make do with more tomes. More ink. Ink's expensive.
For me, I want to experience the nature. But I also hope we can witness the great wyverns of the area, if there are any. Masters of the element. In pure form. Would be quite a sight.
Well, if we're lucky, they'll be far away from us. Not too far as to see, but too far as to make a note of us.
Yes, I imagine it would be quite brutal. Close.
They're known for roughhousing, but not particularly for hunting any of the Humani folk.
Yeah, not really the talkative kinds, as I have heard.
Not smart enough for it. All bird, no brain.
Here, I heard people say bird brain a lot.
Yeah. The path begins to give way. As soon the worked stonework fades into grassy patches. Soil, as soil does, hosts a myriad of insect life. Small worms, aphids, and there even seems to be the natural impressions of hoofs of some kind. The air feels cleaner. It's a sensation that you don't realize till after it has passed, that the altitude mixed with a lack of natural life puts pressure upon your lungs. Perhaps it was the physical exertion that gave you pause. But in reality, it is the environment of 1,000 dead people whose names will never be spoken, looming like an ambient presence. Yet still the illusion breaks, as color vibrant and verdant lays before you. There's not a secondary map for this portion, but this comes up.
Very interesting change in environment.
It's becoming quite peckish.
You just speak about yourself in the third person.
Who?
You. You're
Me?
Frost, right? Frost.
I didn't know such thing.
He'll squint, his eye twitching.
Rosk audibly blinks.
Is it one eye at a time?
Yeah.
Good.
I grabbed his hand. He's squishy.
True.
Listen, Carmine, I know we've had our differences, but is that a fucking construct? Yeah, it is. Their name is Spinny. What the fuck?
They're a relic from the past. They hold many secrets that might be able to reveal to us perhaps what even happened, or maybe what society that came forth that actually led to the... Actually, what would be the calamity called?
It's the Age of Ashen Names, is the period of history that's missing. So,
Yeah. What began the age of Ashen Names? Who knows? What secrets lie within their construction?
Indeed, that they seem to be very resistant to the frog poisons, the toxins. I'm not
Well,
sure.
obviously, it's not a living creature the same way you and I are.
Well, you can't say that.
Yes.
It had addressed
yes, I
more
can.
formally than you have.
That seems
What's
quite rude.
There's no point in saying it's rude to point out obvious and clear differences. We were born, they're made. It's not really that.
Zabara push up her glasses. Here, I thought you were a scholar.
Of course I'm a scholar. What do you mean? A scholar can't be rude to the occasional
Looks back
person
into
now and again?
book.
And
My goodness.
This person.
what
When my
really, what really decides who's alive and who's not then?
I didn't say they weren't living. I just said
And
they weren't
apparently
the
no
same.
one does.
Children these days are so sensitive.
All these old people around.
right. I'm no scholar. They're alive. They weren't born. I think that's pretty straightforward, no?
I just... Right?
But they are alive. They're standing
yes,
right there,
at-
spinning around.
Yeah, remember the first part of what he said? They're living, but they were made.
Yes,
No one's
you
saying-
were made too. Just in a different kind of manner.
Ooh. That's true.
My master used to say that babies are made. I continue spinning.
See?
See?
Uh,
They know.
Rosk was
Doesn't
right.
matter. You did it again! Alphonse stops and he turns.
Whistles.
I'm not really sure if this matters. Let's just continue or we're all going to go insane.
Boots leave impressions on soil. Grasses press down underfoot. And the wind begins to whistle through the high peaks of the Iron Spine. The sun in the sky moves lazily, not along a single axis, but almost meandering against the blue backdrops. There is a stillness, a rhythm that emerges whenever a group is collectively traveling. It is a sort of quiet comfort and camaraderie as breath is held and expelled in small doses. Endurance is tested, and it is not until shadows dance across the floor and the first stomach begins to gurgle that thoughts of setting down for the night settle over you. Right. A little quaint spot over here. Last I remembered. There's a village. We could probably use the walls to break the wind, get some food, and travel onwards.
Do we plan on traveling through the night later or not?
Not particularly.
We'll need to use light to be able to see ourselves, and of course, with the local predators, probably not the best idea to be a moving, glowing target.
Very well.
Who is glowing?
Right. When we light the torches,
A
Who's gonna
small
light?
lantern will pop
Who's
off.
gonna,
Oh,
who's gonna light the
size.
torch here? We're no dungeon dwellers.
Anyway, you heard the man. We'll be settling down soon. He thinks with his stomach, and if he's angry, he's probably hungry. Let's go. I got rations.
Oh.
Not for everyone, but we'll make do.
He's probably been hungry for a while then.
He turns and looks at you.
It seems like you in particular make him hungry. This is very interesting.
I promise you, I am not edible. You should not even think of trying.
I can't stop looking at the strawberry you got around your neck.
Oh,
You got
a
some to
strawberry.
share?
Of course. And a dried up strawberry.
He'll chew on it. You can see a look in his eyes that he was hoping that it was a bluff or a memento. And now he has to swallow his pride along with the very dry strawberry.
If you,
It's
if you
good,
want
right?
more berries, I can give you a very nice magical one. Will keep you fed for a day.
Here we go.
let's settle down first.
yes, please.
Very
Let's actually make the camp. We'll get there eventually, I swear.
I have extra food if everyone needs.
Do you eat?
No,
So why do you carry food?
I like seeing people eat.
That is a little bit weird. But I'll write
Okay.
it down anyways.
You should write it down.
Oh, okay, so you can call them weird, but if I call them, like, not the same, whatever, these fucking children.
We're all weird in some capacity.
Okay, so it's in solidarity. My goodness, you.
It's
fucking
only
people.
rude if you say it rude.
How do you say it?
Like when you say, "You're not alive."
Who said that? Who? Point them out
You.
right now.
You.
I literally said they were. Are you people are deaf?
Maybe you have some hair in your ear.
I said they were made. I said they weren't born. What is
Hmm.
wrong with you people? Thought you were a scholar. Shouldn't you be keeping this information
Unbelievable.
properly together in your head?
Did
I
you
think-
get this, old man?
I
Did
think
you?
Seva wrote this down somewhere. Palo.
Right. Anyway, please shut the fuck up for a moment.
Oh, you want a strawberry, sir?
He does not turn around.
Oh, Rusk gonna eat it.
As he looks out over this small abandoned city, there's a small stream of water rushing through it from above. What walls were made of wood are heavily rotted and caved in. Where there was stone, there is now a tangle of moss, and in some places the complete desiccation and crumbling under the pressures of both weight and time. There's no human remains to be seen. Perhaps they evacuated, or perhaps they simply were never returned to where they were meant to be. Still, it is an inhospitable place, save for a night. And the bridge ahead seems to be broken. Alphonse furrows his brow as the sun begins to set. Well, let's get some shade, some shelter.
Perhaps we might be able to find a little bit better coverage around here.
Maybe I'm able to find enough insects for a soup. That could be good.
The soup sounds good. Yeah,
Indeed.
it does.
I'll assist you. Jumps.
Very good.
You will begin to clear small bits of rubble from this entryway, seeing a more open space that is in cover. Carmine does not help. He stands at the side, leaning on his cane. He is blind, yes.
While everybody's setting up, can I go and sort of stand next to Carmine?
Yeah. Do you carry Zavert with you?
I always carry the war with me.
Okay, so you both go and stand near Carmine.
Oh, we just
Mr.
help
Carmine?
Alphonse.
No worries. Oh, Ashling, you said.
Yes. I've met your brother shortly before this expedition thing ended up happening. He's not mentioned you if he could help it, and are you on bad terms?
He pauses a moment. I suppose you could say that. We have a disagreement that neither one of us can solve. Not easily. It's led to a lot of friction.
But you're brothers, are you not? You're supposed to stick by each other even with problems.
There is a sorrow in his smile as you say that. That's the that's part of the unresolvable. We might be brothers, or we might be two strangers with a remarkable resemblance.
That would indeed be a very remarkable resemblance.
Our father had the impression that I was one of his, but he was an old man, and neither of us could quite remember. So I stayed with him. It's a kindness that anyone would look at a blind man and see family, but he did. For a while, things were easy. For a while. He kind of trails off.
I don't know if it's my place, but I think your father would be very happy to see you two together again. Squabbles and all.
It's the only reason that I agreed. This journey holds not much for me. The steps are hard. The sights are pointless. And all I have is a discontent brother who presumes it's my duty to see my father and my purpose to find our mother. I'm sure he would be happy. But then again, he was happy even when things weren't very good. It's the kind of man he was.
And what do you see for yourself instead? If not duty? You are here, after all.
A life in a city where at least I can orate orders and admin. A workforce that looks at me not as an inept, but a man with a good brain, just lacking some eyes. It's what I did for them. It's what I've been doing since I left them. I have a life. I have a home. I'm just not sure I have a family anymore.
I got on this journey to find meaning. I don't know much, and I'm still quite young for my kind. But I wouldn't disregard this journey just yet. You just might find something unexpected and for yourself.
Well, do yourself a favor and never allow another person to dictate what purpose means. It'll leave you wandering and lost. Not a good combination.
She'll silently nod.
But the conversation lilts on. Flopper and Frosk. You manage to find a handful of worms and a couple of insects. A few dragonfly appearing bugs, which humors you for but a moment, considering where you were. Handful of earthworms. There's an assortment of berries that potentially could be good. Let's see which one of you sees the berries first. Flopper. Flopper, would you like to make me a nature check to determine the edible nature of the berries? They seem fine. They're a little underripe. So maybe there is a discomfort there that could occur, but they don't stand out as overtly toxic to most humani body structures.
You have enough insects. It's fine. Don't eat the berries.
Pass on the berries. Happy with your horde of worms and the odd dragonfly or two. And begin to head back. Up here, Alphonse is lugging large stones. Quentin, are you helping or are you decoration?
He can, somewhat.
Can he?
He's not. He doesn't have a negative in strength.
Do you use your fucked up hands? You hold them near the stone and they roll away because they're scared.
You'll just see his beard get really close to a rock, and the rock will get sucked into the beard, and then he'll walk over, and then the rock will come out of the beard.
Powerful, powerful. Spinny, are you assisting here or are you watching?
She's assisting. She's trying to lift up things. She will roll rocks down the thing.
Although if
Yeah.
anything,
Got it.
but if anything even seems to have like some kind of marking on it, he'll immediately pause for like a good minute or two staring at it.
Alright.
Rusk sees Quentin struggling, so he will approach and flex on him. by helping Alphonse Silverworth, who has managed to command very respect over Frosk.
It takes you a few moments, Alphonse sort of pausing to try and discern how the rocks have fallen in order to make a safer pathway that isn't going to crush anyone's feet. It gives you enough time both to flex on Quentin and for Quentin to spot an interesting rock. He scratches at his chin underneath his beard where none will ever see as he examines the writing, inscription, even if it is just decoration. Which languages do you currently have, Quentin?
I went for Jotun and I think the other one. Sorry, I gotta look at our DMs real quick.
Yeah,
I believe I put it in there.
you did.
What would be the base for gnomes?
Base for gnomes is Draconic.
Oh, okay. So then he's also got Draconic, Jotun, and what was that? You said. I believe I chose Averick. Yep.
Yeah. The inscription is not any of those languages. However, if you would like to roll a history check, you may be able to draw correlations with the aesthetic and apparent characters.
Alright, I'll do that one first.
As you look over the inscription, somewhat expectedly, it is a form of Jotun. The runic languages tend to have these broad geometric strokes, and this too shares that motif. It is similar to some of the Barrichas designs, though they seem to take the initial shape, or at least what you presume to be an initial shape based on the example in front of you, and they mix in the sort of flowing draconic sigilry. It is a blending of cultures, intentionally and artistically, but this seems older, or at least more pure in its construction. The curious thing that you denote with a 16 and knowing Averick, which is the north of the Iron Spine towards the Frost Marches, is that it bears it bears quite the resemblance to Goliath inscriptions, which you know they use their language more as a string of statements, harsh punctuation, right? This seems to be a statement, although it is quite distorted by time and the crumbling of stone.
Well, it appears that this place might have been some kind of cultural zone. There's many different languages I see amongst the ruins here, kind of mixed together. Some Jotun, Goliath. Perhaps this was some kind of trading post? Some place that many people arrived at, I can only assume.
I see. Would you help with a rock?
One moment. It is. I just need to look at something. And he will cast comprehend languages.
Ooh.
So I'll just take care of that.
Are you ritual casting it or action casting it?
Ritual.
All right. You say in a moment, and underneath your beard, you begin to you begin to invoke the somatic components of the spell, but all anyone hears is the muffled mutterings of the verbal incantations as they continue to move the rocks. Frosk, you flexed on Quentin so much he's muttering to himself and staring at one rock instead of the 4 that you have moved in this time span.
That's
Impressive.
right.
Devastated.
Absolutely wrecked.
I seem some tension. Is everything okay?
Movestruck.
What?
It appears that you have been irritated by Frosk.
He will look at the frog stood next to him, flexing over his 4 rocks. Now isn't the time. Let's be able to sit down and eat. He sort of
I understand.
trails off, realizing how silly a statement that is to a construct. Do
My
you
apologies.
you don't eat, I would guess. Does something maintain you? Like, is there someone that knows?
I'm not sure.
She kind of twists her head to the side. He would hear like the sound of cogs just like spinning around inside of her.
Yeah.
I'm guessing magic, perhaps.
She like raises her hands and shoulders. Just not sure.
Right. Well, cool. Help me with this one. He'll gesture to a particularly big rock so you guys can move it together.
Okay.
And she will try to move it.
Alright. You
Okay,
begin to move
but-
it together.
Oh, I thought we had to roll. Okay.
No.
Bonk, bonk, bonk.
He's avoiding rolling it by carrying it with you.
Oh.
Powerful. And then you can roll it away.
That one is. Okay.
Good. That is what we call teamwork. Yes.
Just
Uh.
making eye contact with it.
Yeah. Teamwork.
Yeah.
Right, we can go in.
Very good. I have the ingredients. I just need a fire.
Can't you make a fire with your magic, Uncle?
Yes, but I need some plank. Or 3.
Oh,
Did you get some?
I found some in the rubble.
Ah, very good.
Right. Let's at least get in. Don't want to be out in the open. Moves past, muttering old gnome. Awkwardly clambers over stones. Alright. Zavir. He is incanting a spell. You roll an arcana check to try and know what the spell is.
Damn it.
He is incanting a mysterious spell. It is impossible to understand because his hands' movements are obscured by his beard. His mouth's utterances muffled by its weighty mass.
Reading somebody's lips is difficult when you can't actually see anything.
I know the spell. Would I be able to make it out? Possibly?
If you had the spell, I mean, you can just roll an arcana check. That's fine.
Or they get what, advantage or something?
She doesn't have proficiency, so I'm just gonna let her roll. If she had profit, probably give a different benefit. 16 is enough. You watch as his utterances form a familiar cadence to you, though his old vocal cords do not quite make the same tune. It is a similar song that you have sung before. He is casting Comprehend Languages.
Having been sort of like pulled back by my hood to let Zawar look upon Quentin, I'll sort of turn my head back and whisper, I think he's trying to understand the language. It seems he doesn't speak it.
Not because he's so old, he needs the magical assistance.
We all need it sometimes. I can't read most of what you write.
I'll teach you eventually.
help you? Would you like
Quentin
to
will
speak to the
run.
old man, or can I go to the camp?
Absolutely not. Let's go to the camp.
You go in, you gather some firewood, you begin a small fire.
Spinny
actually-
will go around and give one ration to each member of the party.
I'll actually get out of the hood and put the book away.
Mhm.
Pwned. Handing out some rations. Most of the party except, I assume.
I would look at it
No.
first. Is it a standard ration? Or
Is it edible?
is
Yeah.
it edible?
It is a standard ration. Nothing
Ah.
suspicious about it.
We'll give an elf to it.
You say that with such a very suspicious voice.
Hi,
You
Frost.
approach.
He's
you approach
definitely not
Frost.
poisoned.
There's a pot here that Flopper seems to
I
be
can't
making
fare,
some soup.
but
Thank you. We put this in.
It would be rude not to. I think.
what then?
I'm assuming if
Fruit.
they've
I'm
cleared the area and made fire that I'm done with the ritual.
You're about to be.
Okay.
BDDDDD.
Everything okay?
Yes, I want to inspect the soup.
The soup is not yet ready. It seems Flopper is adding components.
I'm
as the old-
watching. I'm watching what he's adding with great concern and the great interest.
You
old
will see
man.
him add great worms, insects, and very similar stuff. And if it doesn't seem enough, he will summon some good berries to mix in.
Good berry and worm soup.
Yes.
This
Very
concoction
healthy.
is frightening. Yet
Oh.
not all the ingredients are awful.
Outside. Quentin. You complete your incantation. It takes you a moment as you begin to piece the fragmented translations in your mind together. Trying to make an approximation of the characters in front of you with their intended meanings. You get the majority of what you can see. The first statement says, "Our oaths, comma, stand unbroken." The second begins to say plague, but it seems that the rest of the surface it was engraved upon is broken and worn away.
He'll pick up the rock with him, look around, and realize everyone's moved on. See the light over here. Like, oh,
Mr. Quentin,
oh, yes. Okay, okay.
here's a ration for you. It will definitely not kill you.
And she will move out.
They are curious folk. It'll float towards him into his beard. He'll bring the rock up to Alphonse here for a second. It'll kind of come out of his beard for a moment, placed on the ground. Yeah.
Oh, it's a nice
Yeah.
rock.
I understand. You were going to the but he'll you can, if you could see, I've put it so that you can see the inscriptions here. Your I'm assuming forebearers lived in the area, seeing as your father was here.
That's most of the assumption. When most of us woke, it was within the city, within the mountains. There was a small handful that were up here. At least that's what he told me.
The inscription, I was able to get an idea. It seems that they are oathbound type, and that they have been keeping it but at the end it mentions the word. I believe it translates to plague, but as you can see, it cuts off. Don't have much more information, unfortunately, until we can get to better archaeological sites. But if nothing else, your people's word seemed to be very important to them.
He scratches at his beard. Well, my father, in the few tales of his youth that he bothered to tell me about, or that he remembered fondly, the people up here were a mix. Dwarves and Goliaths, as you can tell. He kind of gestures to the inscription, it being more obvious to someone who speaks the language, the dialect difference. But the purpose of the city was down, I suppose. It was never clear. The wyverns haven't touched it.
That's good.
Probably with good reason. But we haven't discerned it, and we haven't had the chance to. If this is of interest to you, perhaps we can anticipate whatever this plague is. It could still be a premonition.
And although there might not be anything living in the area, if with the mention plague here, well, we should probably ascertain if anyone here is medically trained. And perhaps if any kind of encroaching sickness begins to build up, it's best if we catch it early, as it would probably be rather contagious with it being called a plague.
Right. It's a good spot. Something to look into. If there's any survivors around the city, I'll organize for you to speak with them.
Oh, thank you.
Good.
Once everybody's inside and is eating, could Spinny try and erase all the traces they may have left that lead to here? Make sure assure the area a little
tracks.
bit. Yeah, cover tracks. Yeah.
Sure. Just roll me a survival check.
Sounds good. Damn.
This area is so strewn with rubble and debris that it isn't too difficult. You get to about the town's edge and up sort of the small rise that you had descended from, and some careful maneuvering of dirt or coaxing grass back into position leaves you thinking that your tracks are pretty well covered.
Good. And she will spin around back.
Yep.
Trying to not make more tracks.
How loudly were they talking about the rock? Like normal height, normal.
Yeah, he was trying to hide
open
that.
air?
Yeah.
That's normal conversational, and you're in like an enclosed space, so it sounds a bit louder.
Oh, I'll waddle over.
You'll just kind of raise his eyebrow noticeably through the hat, and then ignore you for the most part, unless you.
Couldn't quite not notice that you were talking about the rock you found.
Yes, some older inscriptions left behind.
And you said that it was broken on one side, yes?
There was. Yeah.
Points at rock.
Have you tried to repair it?
He'll look at the rubble surrounding us.
Well, just this one, of course, not the entire building. Yes.
I don't. Not the point of it is if you can find the pieces that connect to it, I'd be happy to. But let's just say it might be a bit of a hard search for the time we have right now.
Yes, I guess you would be right.
Plus, with Frost throwing the rocks around and obviously natural weathering, chances of us getting anything useful within 2-3 days.
Oops. Did you mention my name?
Yes, momentarily, but worry not, I didn't need you.
Was there anything you needed?
I just told you.
Surely you could find the rocks that fit into this one,
Are,
right?
are you people deaf? Am I just making fun of disabled people?
You look at the frog. You realize that on the side of their head there are like 2 holes that seem to have some kind of slightly softer skin or membrane underneath that you reckon must be his ears.
He'll just
What?
look at you confusedly. You just no, as
You want me to
as
find a
I
rock?
said. No,
Yes.
no, we're
Yes, yes.
Where?
You need to find one that fits onto this carton.
well. I
Consider it
don't
done.
think he has the necessary
Oop.
Very
delicacy
good.
to
Very
be.
good.
Well, this will be another lost site.
See, you will get it done. I'm sure he will find
He's-
something.
Yes, he will find something, but nothing that we need.
You never know.
Yeah.
He hasn't died yet from whatever this soup is that the other one is preparing, so maybe he can do something else.
Or... if it keeps him busy, it's fine. All right.
You're trying to find a needle in a haystack, brother.
Oh, yeah.
Roll me 1d100 if you roll up.
Damn
easy.
it.
Damn.
God, there's a lot of rocks here. Like a lot of rocks. A lot of pieces of rocks. You find 1 or 2 that you think might fit on, but they're like the wrong shade. You don't
Guys.
find.
I found one.
Go ahead.
I'll take a look at it.
It's a rock.
No, that's not the one. No. Keep looking.
Bollocks.
Flopper,
He's
your
busy.
soup is complete.
Yes, the soup is ready. This will
Oh,
keep
God.
us walking and strong.
I'll take a look at it. Will this kill me if I eat it?
Roll me a nature check. Maybe unfortunately not. There's the fact that it was boiled, meaning a lot of contaminants died at the higher temperatures. Seems that whatever insects were within mostly dissolved, meaning their nutritional value is now diluted into the soup. But there is some husks of rather unfortunate lengths of food, which if you were strong-willed enough, you could convince yourself was some kind of spaghetti. But the soup does not seem dangerous.
Well, I think that's a little bit too much protein for me. Thank you very much.
I have had this soup for 40 winters. The perfect meat.
Let's go little meet as they return from his quest.
I'm gonna.
At the sound of food is ready.
Soup.
I'm gonna look at Quentin's reaction at all to the soup. I'll look very closely for any change in hat or beard behavior.
The bowl goes into the beard.
It's the fact that it's not like you tip it into the beard, it's the entire bowl. Alphonse will also take a bowl. 2, in fact, and you will hand it to Carmine. Hand 1 to Carmine.
Oh my god, he can't see what he's eating. The poor man.
Oh my god,
it's been a
they're
while.
bonding.
This is certainly a meal. I would like to guess that this isn't spaghetti.
I would like to inform you that the long bits are indeed not spaghetti.
Spaghetti? Why would you use spaghetti? There's nothing nutritional in spaghetti.
I will withhold further information for your own mental well-being.
It's a bunch of fucking worms and bugs.
He, on the
Oh.
other hand, would not.
That's fine. Thank you. And they will begin to eat.
Mhm.
Wow, just as good as I remembered. Thank you, Uncle.
You just had it this morning, so I would expect nothing less.
Oh, right.
I will roast some meat over the fire from my own rations.
Bugs isn't exactly the most disgusting thing possible.
Did you enjoy Uncle Flopper's food?
It is.
Quentin?
It's passable. Like, good for what it's. It's crunchy. Why are
Right.
noodles crunchy?
Keep you strong.
Perhaps you will grow.
That would be a sight to see. Uh, I've learned not to complain about free food. My form of work, it isn't exactly known for its high pay.
I'll share some of my meat with people that wanted.
He will take it.
Ashling will take some for sure.
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
I'm curiously holding it up close to see just a tiny gap. I'm trying to guess anything that happens between the hair when it parts.
It's he's purposely like just making sure that the beard covers it. Like he uses mage hand, picks it up. The beard in the front opens up, but there's still beard behind. The curtain closes.
I see you're very proficient in your craft.
Well, you don't
I
get as
must
old as I
ask,
am without some
How do you
practice.
see in that thing?
It's made of cloth.
Oh, so it's very thin. Is that what you're saying?
Where I need it to be.
Maybe I should get one.
It is an old memento.
Ah, family heirloom then.
I'm not quite sure. But it is important to me, so don't don't worry about it. No, you didn't seem the type.
We're gonna actually enjoy meat.
The entire time while people are eating, Ashling will eat her food, but also will like constantly look at Spinny. And it's not like stealthy at all. It's painfully obvious.
Has Spinny returned yet? I'm not sure. That's why. Spinny would just be dropped in the corner, just looking at everybody eat. Kind of made in trouble.
Takes a bite. Looks.
Everything okay?
Oh, yes. I've never seen one of you before.
I see.
She kind of twists her head. She really doesn't know how to interact with the situation.
Have you ever seen one like yourself before?
Yes, I have seen myself, but no other.
Oh.
You are also quite curious.
Am I?
Seems to look up close.
Yes. I don't know if I have heard your name. She kind of twists her head to the side.
Oh, my apologies. I'm Ashling. Ashling Moriarty.
Pleasure to meet you.
She stands her hand.
she will give you a smile and shake her hand, and you see through the smile, her teeth are basically all fangs.
Yeah, I do not think I have seen something like that before. I'm SP1NE. She nods.
Spinny eye.
Yes. Spinny.
I like the way you can curl up.
Oh. You like my transportation mode?
Yeah. Seems quite fun. Is it fun?
Yes, I would say it's fun. Moreover, when you hit something and fly away. Quite fun.
She seems to like do all the motions and mimics with her hands.
Aisling will like put her plate aside and try and curl up like you do. And like she gets quite far with it. She seems like somewhat acrobatic, but she doesn't get all the way. And then she goes, "Nope. Seems that's special to you."
Oh. That's sad. I wish you could spin as well.
I'll keep trying throughout the journey. Maybe I'll learn how to.
Please inform me before you try that.
You probably curl up with that guy and just keep going. Alphonse will set aside the empty bowl of soup.
It is quite uncomfortable when my horns get stuck in the floor.
Don't mind him. He is just a... The word bully lands on his lips, but does not escape them. Alphonse will glare at him openly. Right. You all have graciously offered your company, so we should talk. My father was a good man, kind, the sort of fellow that would offer you a drink even when his flask was empty. He will reach into his coat and produce several small flasks and begin to hand them around. Offering one to Carmine. No, friend, this isn't cider. It's a whiskey.
Oh.
Brewed within redwood barrels. There's a kick to it. The scent of a harsh alcohol blooms above even the earthy soup as your nostrils are inundated with the opening of his own flask as he sips at it. He worked stone all his life. The stones of this village, I would assume, before the age kicked in, his hands were on those too. His passion was to tell a story with every piece, every life. It was his passion. So I'll tell you one that he told me ever since I was a little boy. Great worms roam these mountains. Variety of shapes and sizes. Their scales linger with iridescent light. From the smallest of wyverns to the fabled dragon. They lived here with an accord, an agreement, one still upheld supposedly by the citizens of Crota to the west. On the eve of winter, offerings of food will be left on a great plateau, so that the scaled beasts may feast their fill before resting. Many hands touched the snout of a wondrous beast. Many hands were left with needle-thin scars of curious young. But one day there was a boy, bright red hair, nary a hair on his chin. He fed them from his own hands, these young, until two, he would like to say dragons, fought over the same scrap of meat. Deer, he would say. Not the animal, no, but to placate the young, and they would turn their eyes and listen. 3 wing beats is all it took before the mother landed ahead of this young boy. Her face curled in the sneer of a predator. He damn near soiled himself. But as she watched her young fight over scraps of meat given from the open palm of a stranger, her eyes dilated. Not the reptilian slits that you'd be used to from your kobolds and your dragonborn, but more human. And in a flash of light, she stood. Not as a monstrous beast of burden, but as a human woman. Ears lightly tilted, pointed even. They would say she was a goddess. They would say she is a hybrid, perhaps a long kind of elf, lost in the annals of history. But she smiled at that boy, casting a soft spell as meat flowed freely. He ate from her palm as her children ate from his. The city stood on watching. Blades stayed within sheaths, scribed on the many pens of onlookers. The wisdom she gave to that boy was simple. That when love finds you, hold it within your palm. For love is not a burden. It is a gift. And when you two are ready to feed those who need it, make sure that you've had your fill. They say the sun stopped at that moment. Its meandering across the sky paused like a dancer who had lost its beat. And the woman faded to ash, calcified. Pale dust filled the lungs of the now coughing boy. The children rushed to the skies. There's a long pause as he fiddles with a ring on his thumb. Delicately woven silver bands, flecked with a pale pink crystal. Amethyst, the learned would know. A rare mineral, but not quite so valuable. but the handiwork within the ring tells a story unto itself. So never misplace your kindness. Never misplace your efforts. And when it is time to give, make sure you give your all. He lets the silence fill the small campsite as Carmine sets aside a empty wooden bowl. The soft tink of wood upon stone as it leaves his grip.
Certainly unlike most other dwarven stories I hear. Usually not so much passion, at least not for the those outside of the dwarves.
Yes, it does give a lot more insight than other stories I have heard of the worship or the fear of the dragons.
This reverence is... not quite sure yet, but it certainly seems to line up with the oath keeping as well as the idea of holding on to what you have. Some deeper
Story
insights might be
fitting the
learned.
great worm.
Seems our people were a lot more social than I would expect of some of the others.
He'll nod slowly. Stories tell a lot. And those that survived tell of a commune. Agreements between the dwarves and the outside races, and of the dwarves and the great beasts of the mountains. We just hope that they keep to their side as much as we can remember ours.
Has there been any assessment of whether the age has affected the beasts as well?
He'll slowly shake his head. There's not been enough time. Like I said, the city of Trudda and the West hold fast to the tradition. It seems that wyverns still remember that easy food is found at the beginning of winter there. But no sightings of any larger beasts.
It does make you wonder if they also remember the agreement or not. And if the lack of food would disturb more than just the wyverns. But,
Well, we do have a druid with us. Perhaps that might be of use. Also a bit of a linguist amongst the draconic as well, myself.
Well, yes. I do wonder if they speak the High Draconic or not.
High draconic might be a bit beyond mine, but I should still be able to decipher some of it.
Then let me assist you with that, if need be.
If need be.
Alphonse kind of stares wistfully at the flask. His other hand still toying with the ring around his thumb.
What do you believe of this story, sir? Do you believe it is true? Do you believe of the woman, of the dragon who turned woman?
He pauses and considers, taking a sip to buy himself some time. You see reflected in his facial features the warring aspects of an adult who has reached maturity and knows that life must go on, and the child who once held fast to such stories, praying of their truth that he might lead a more interesting life.
I've read about many stories people weave of people changing shapes with magic or without. Druids are very keen of it, but to this extent, I'm very unsure.
I would hope that it's true. It is one of the few reasons that the wyverns and other more mindless of their kin don't tend to go hunting outside of the mountains. It has kept us safe.
Perhaps there might be some level of embellishment of like their origin, perhaps some of the description, but usually such traditions hold some kind of origin. There was probably at least some kind of mediator that came between them and the dragons that the story is speaking of. Their exact nature doesn't really matter.
And shapeshifting is very much possible. But being able to turn into a dragon, you would need very much power, much magic. This would be a very powerful creature.
Does anyone have any knowledge of dragons, or is it still one of those investigated things?
It still needs to be investigated.
Okay.
It's very much folklore. They're not separated into chromatic and metallic. They're very much unique and very seldom seen. The approximate population of dragon, as in the highest form, has only ever been recorded to be a handful. Seems their long lifespan has led to a very slow life cycle. But that's kind of about the biological or natural studies and presumptions can extrapolate from folklore.
Okay. Yeah. It would be very interesting to be able to find out a bit more about the dragons themselves. They're such a large and powerful creature. Being able to wipe out entire cities would, in fact, influence the local cultures greatly, just in their how they deal with such things.
He nods.
Mr.
Yes.
Silverworth,
Yeah.
may I ask why did you tell us this story?
Because that's what you do when you're traveling. If you're sat at a fire with company, you tell stories.
Does this particular story have any significance to you? Or was it just your favorite?
It's a story that when my father told it, I could swear he was recounting a memory.
Oh, it is true then. Your father is the child eating the dragon.
Well, that would have made his father incredibly old.
Well, I see an incredibly old person over here. I don't see why his father could not be old as well.
It does seem that they have a bit of a longer lifespan. Some of them seem to have lived through the age.
He was one. Carmine, you've been awful silent, and usually I'd say that's a good thing, but come on, we all know you dye your beard. Carmine kind of sputters a little bit, caught off guard, expecting some kind of harsh remark, but he sort of rubs at his face.
Why would he need to? Or why would he think to?
Because in truth, he's right. I awoke much like you did, Mr. Quinton, I'm sure. except I was behind the great walls of Barrichas itself. I met Alphonse and our father shortly after. Though I have no tales of dragons or mysterious memories that could give insight on this.
No. Personally, I simply woke up in what I assumed was my home. It was just a little too large for one old man.
All of you
No.
three were in the age?
No,
Beyond.
well,
Beyond
much,
it, more like.
most certainly. Well, I was still far, far into my graying years upon, after. But beyond that, obviously, like everyone else, I don't really know.
Carmine nods. He's right, Mr. Frusk. Many of us who awoke, it isn't living through, it's being returned, I suppose. One day you could live in a city or a town just like this, working water, plumbing, community, city built by your own hands, sturdy. And the next, you awaken in the rubbles of a building and the trees pressing in. What waterworks were done rusted and worn away. You don't quite live through the age, it passes you by.
I think I understand.
It's a curious thing to, being an old man, I simply thought I had lost my wits. Simply gone into a fog that many others such have done. It's a bit sad to say it was comforting to realize it wasn't only me.
I am curious though. Do you have any recollections, any returning memories? Anything of that kind?
Cameron slowly begins to shake his head. And there's very few. There's a few names that I managed to track down. People that similarly had been a part of my life before and returned to it after. Mr. Silverworth was one such name, though I don't quite recall why I knew him. There's a very heavy pause in his words. But the presumptions of family were quick. The resemblance was strong. But I hold no secrets of a mother. Nor do I recall much. An oddity, I suppose, if you want to record things, is that I very much had my sight before I was returned. I was able-bodied.
How do you know that?
You ask.
Place. How I don't see it. Simple.
It's let's just say it's kinder on you to have not have gone through that. Waking up into a house with someone else's memories scattered throughout it is saddening. Seeing gravestones with worn out names that you should recognize and don't is I've dedicated myself to the lost so that they don't be forgotten. Say, small thing, I guess, but it's mine.
Carmine raises his flask in salute before taking a sip.
Yes, let us write down everything we can while we remember it, so it might not be forgotten again.
Yes.
Right. Sun's getting real low. And I'm gonna get some sleep. Post up wherever's easiest. We won't need to take watches. If a wyvern comes, a warning isn't gonna do much. Just put out the fire when you're done.
I will predict the weather best I can tomorrow. Help us know what we're going in for.
You begin to channel your magic, your innate Pandoran energy, tinged with the hues of nature. The communion here is strange to you. Where the swamplands or even the roads lead to quite clear predictions, this high up seems to have a weird effect on the magic. It doesn't not work, but it takes longer. As if there is a pause in your response. But still, your heart beats and your magic flows. The weather tomorrow will be much as it was today. Clear skies.
Even the magic is affected by the altitude, it seems. But the weather will be clear, like today.
Good. Good. Not long now. Back over here and lie down.
Should we decide watches for the night?
Well, as he said, there isn't much use to it. And it's either you spot the wyvern and you get killed, or you don't spot the wyvern and you get killed. So.
Do you not sleep, Miss Spinny?
I save energy, but I do not sleep like you do.
So you do not dream?
No, I do not.
Spinny, I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh. And one point.
You can continue the role play. I will reveal the result of that after everybody has gone to sleep.
Okay. I do not have any kind of dream.
You know what
I
they
just
are?
let myself go. I have heard of them from my master. He told me they're like stories you make on your head.
That is true. Were you close to your master?
I do not remember if I was close to him. I would say they would tell me things. And that's few things is what I remember from them. I don't think I even have a face of how they looked in my memory.
May I ask, how old are you?
Hard to say. Last memory I have is waking up near here, past the mountains.
Or like the Aegis thing.
Yes. That thing they were talking about?
Yes. I'm sorry, I
Well,
can't relate.
Uh,
But it sounds
is
sad.
I guess you could call it that. I really have no much attachment to things.
I see.
But I guess it's nice not being alone.
It is, isn't it?
You're good, Mr. Frosk.
You too, Spinny. I like you. Straight to the point.
Oh. Good. Then I'll be more straight to the point.
I programmed her. Well, good night.
Good night,
Recharge
Mr.
well.
Frosk.
I wouldn't
Oh.
know that word. Rest well.
Yes. I will rest well. Dream with good things.
Thank you. I will try. I can tell you about it in the morning.
Oh, I'll be looking forward to it.
And she'll just stand there.
Oh my god. Alright, yeah, she'll just stand there. I go lay down in the corner.
Sure. Ashling, are you staying up? You going to sleep? What's your
I only need 4 hours, and I don't necessarily sleep as much as I go into a state of trance. But Ashling will wait for everyone to settle down, and she will grab a blanket, and sort of the riverside is close to us. Yes.
Yeah, it's just outside.
She will take a blanket and a little notebook and go to the riverside. And I think while everyone focused on the historical meanings and the possible truths that might hide behind Alphonse's story, to Ashling, it was just a father telling their child of something dear to them. So she just lays down on the ground and brings her hands forward, and almost like a little theater for herself, she will use silent image and minor illusion to try and imagine those magnificent dragons and the little wormlings and a young red-haired child who got to witness something none other has in quite some time. And she will try and make that story her own, not out of greed or any negative emotion, but simply because you tell stories so that more people remember them.
The delicate composition of the story is molded under the weight of your intent, twisting fine details, emphasizing statements, building into a proper crescendo. It is one that is easy to commit to memory, for many of the images are already so grandiose as to evoke a sense of awe. It is in the fine-tuning that your art takes hold.
Eventually, once exhaustion proper sets in, I think she will just curl up near the riverside and fall asleep to the sound of the calm water.
Spinny, similarly, will you wait until energy is necessary before you begin to recharge?
Yeah, I believe she would just like stay up as much as she can, looking over the party.
Mhm.
And then eventually she will just turn into a ball and go rest to recharge energy. But she's not doing much. She's just like looking over them.
Similar to how Aisling weaves stories with words and silent images, like a puppeteer dancing with frames. Eventually, the fatigue sets in. Though your art is not one of intent, it is one of purpose. To keep their allies safe, to make sure the path is clear. The gentle stream that lulls Aisling to sleep rings in your ears too. The bubbling of the waters as it crashes over the rock. You had told Frosk earlier that you don't really dream. A true statement, straight to the point as he had said, but there is an uncomfortable truth that even mechanized will cannot cover. As a warforged, you were a construct with a soul. As such, you were connected to planes inherently. In this case, the soft pulse of Pandora thrums through both the prime material and you. And as your mind vacates and your body begins to recharge, it is not the peaceful slumber that finds you. It is not even the burbling of the water's edge. It all stops. Curled into a ball as you were, you find your body tensing, almost snapping back into rigid place. Your companions are still around you, but the soft snoring of the gruff-voiced dwarf no longer rests softly upon your ears. The water does not rush, and color has all but left your vision. What do you do?
Hmm. Uh, Spinny will try moving first.
It is possible,
Mm.
but it is like moving as though you were underwater. The air itself seems suspended and frozen, and your metal and chassis press against it to move. It gives way with just a little effort.
Okay. Spinny will try to scramble as she can. Once again, more worried about the people around her than whatever is happening to her. And she will try to go one by one, just checking over them, making sure that all of them are resting well.
Who do you start
Uh,
with?
She will start with Frosk, actually.
You make your way over to your companion, curled in the corner, a slight frame. As you look over them, you realize that there is no rise or fall of his chest. There is no soft whistle of air being pressed through reptilian nostrils.
She will move her side towards Flopper to see if he's having the same situation.
It is the same situation. Even the soft glistening of their skin seems suspended, as if the light that was once refracting off of it is held within the heavy air around you.
I do not. She will try to reach out.
Make contact with Flopper. His
Yeah.
skin is still warm to your touch. It's still somewhat moist.
She will kind of look at the moisture in her hand, kind of play with it a little, and at that point she realizes that something is happening at this point. And she will head outside, trying to see if she notices something at this point.
Mm-hmm. You begin to make your way outside, and curiously, to your careful, natural eye, the footsteps that you had swept over, the tracks that you had covered, are once more upon the floor. Except as it catches your eye and your head tilts softly, you realize that it is like looking at two images layered over each other. There is both the impression and the cover-up existing in tandem. Where dirt overlays with dirt, there is a uncomfortable coalescence of something that is impossible.
That does not compute. Spinny will try to move her body heavily, stepping slowly, and she will try to reach out for the tracks that she had made. As in trying to fix her, almost as it's like an imperial duty that she needs to complete no matter what.
Your hand rests in the indentations of the tracks, yet you feel the pressure of dirt around your fingers. You try and cover them up once more.
Yes.
As you shift the dirt, it is heavier than before. Similar to just about everything you've noticed, there is a stasis of some kind. Except above you, you notice shadows being cast as clouds begin to rumble inwards.
Spinny will look at the clouds. Although there's no breathing coming from her, there's a clear desperation. Her chest seems to tumble, and her different mechanisms that form her seems to make a little bit more noise, maybe forcing herself just by the situation she's in. She feels clearly uncomfortable.
As you gaze upwards at the roiling clouds, you spot flashes of thunder. More than spot, they linger in the air, the light they cast dancing along the many surfaces of the cloud itself. And you spot one of the moons. Large, pale white, almost bone. as you tilt your head at the moon, understanding naturally that this is not the phase nor the moon that should exist. Thunder strikes once more, flashing across the surface of everything you have ever known. The moon splits down the middle, and a great reptilian eye looks at you. There's curiosity even in the absence of expression, and a deep rumble of knowing. You feel yourself hurtled back. As the sun begins to rise, you all begin to regain consciousness slowly. Spinny, you are once more curled into a ball where you decided to rest, and your physical form has regained all energy expended.
Okay. Okay, I need to know. Has this happened before to Spinny? Something
As you
like this.
consider it, you think yes. There is an odd mismatch in some of your memories, and situations like this have occurred, but often you've been alone in your travels. The kind of stasis and odd lack of color would not stand out to you were it not for the living features of your companions held as they were. So you suspect yes, but never to the intensity that it has just happened.
Slowly the ball will start to unravel, and Spinny will lay sitting down on the floor, kind of looking in the distance. Seems to be pondering on something, but at the moment she won't say anything. She just waits until everybody else starts waking up.
Soft whistle snore of the heavy-set dwarven man returns to you. The burbling of the river nearby continues. As morning sets in, Carmine begins to awaken. He is careful in his movements. A practiced traveler, at least to your recognition. He adjusts slowly, patting the ground, finding his cane before making his way outside.
A couple of feet pop out the bottom of his hat, and it'll slowly rise back to the top of his head.
Dunk dunk.
Oh, I have double sleep.
You have to right click to remove it from there. There you go.
Yeah.
You have to right click, Kratzy, not left
That was
click.
on purpose.
5 times the sleep.
Yes.
Alphonse begins to wake.
Start seeing him bending left and right. Go.
He will hold in some laughter as he nods to Spinny, nods to Flopper before walking outside. He does notice someone is missing, though. He looks at Carmine, squints aggressively.
From the fallen foliage of the bush that fell off her body after an hour, but still covered her because she's tiny enough. The head emerges. Oh, note down. Not comfortable, but not eaten. Yes. No.
Not comfortable, but not eaten is amazing.
Cracks back. Puts book on. Waddles.
You can see Spinny seems to be following you with her gaze, also looking at Quentin.
I'll look very sleepy. I hold out my hand
morning.
Very, very morning, yes. The name's Zavar. Advice to make your acquaintance. And she does a very tired, very awkward, polite bow.
She bows back. I'm sorry to intrude in the morning, but you appear to know stuff. I have a question I would like to ask.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Pushes glasses further up.
Does the moon have an eye?
The rattling. The moon. In the sky.
Yes.
Not that I can recall of, no.
That's
Have you witnessed other
curious.
things? I would be very interested in recording those.
Oh. Well, yesterday, at night, I had a situation. I was here in ball,
And she will turn into a ball to gesture. And then turn back.
She nods sagely as it begins to write down.
and then I woke up. Everything felt heavy.
And she will look at her hand as she does.
Almost like I was stuck. And people were frozen. But when I went outside,
And looks up at the sun directly.
the moon had an eye. When lightning struck through it, it opened. Like so.
And does the gesture of opening an egg.
She holds out her hand, like, openly. Twirling. Did it look like this? And then tries to form it in a way that looks like a human-looking eye. Or more like this. And then it turns into a frog eye.
Well, I think it was more reptile. It looked quite curious at me.
And it was the moon.
Yes. I saw it after shadows appeared above. They were linings coming from them. I think I have experienced something like that before, but never like this. Well, I also never had people around, so maybe it was easier to notice.
Do you recall? Was the eye, like, looking at you at something? What color was it? Was it blinking? Was there more than the eye? Was there a body?
She will try to recall.
Yeah, one moment.
Do you say a color, Chamber?
Uno momento, por favor. I'm double checking a note.
Okay.
This is all quite interesting. You said this happened before, but not to this extent.
Yes. I was actually talking to Frosk about this yesterday. About not being able to dream. But I wonder if this is a dream.
And looks up at the sky again.
The eye was a pale hue of red, almost pink, but it only existed around the reptilian slit. The main body of the moon itself was the pale white you would expect.
Okay. Oh. Now that I think about it, I think it was slightly pink, the eye. Like so.
And she kind of like does the drawing in the air.
And this part was the moon.
Can I recall anything, having heard anything about something similar of dreams of which I will assume is dragons?
You can roll me an Arcana check. I will tell you the DC is 25.
Hell yeah. Time for a nat 20, my friends. Fuck!
Oh,
Yeah, almost. Too
I'll
bad
give
don't
you a
have-
little bit of information, because that's close.
You better.
That was... Whew.
Yeah.
Range.
hell yeah.
Smack me.
Alright, through the power of... Wait, you didn't eat a soup, did you?
I tasted, but
Then I will veto the guidance. I'm sorry.
Damn
You'll
it.
get some information, not all. You were not powerful
no.
enough to receive the guidance.
no, the strength
but no,
was very intimidating.
The moon and the eye and the storm clouds don't really make any sense. Not at all, in fact. There is, rumor of things sealed in many of the celestial bodies that are observable, but it's never provable. It's more folklore and superstition. It is more likely that creatures are more active during moon cycles, and people built a resonance between those ideas, and well, word of mouth is not always reliable. However, the descriptions of Spinny talking about the hard movements and the color absence and people stopping do resonate somewhat with a story you had written down offhandedly about a guy from a guy in a tavern, a drunkard most likely, but he spoke that when he slept, it was like he slipped somewhere in between. He could still see the world, but he was not interacting with it. That everything was grayscale. That the air that he breathed hurt his lungs, and various other exaggerated statements that initially you had written down because it is an interesting concept now resonates with Spinny. Important things to note is that the man in the tavern was not a construct. He was a flesh and blood human man. And that there are rumors, at least within arcane circles, of planes that overlay this one. The common presumptions are things like a Feywild where mischief exists, a Shadowfell. It is known that hells and heavens exist, though they seem to be interwoven in some regard that isn't fully understood. But there is a theory and presumption that rests upon the idea of an ethereal realm, a sort of abstraction of this one. Philosophers would posit that if a physical aspect of a realm exists, a mind and a soul would too. The ethereal realm tends to resonate with ideas of the soul. However, that is all theory and extrapolation on ideas, and not active research.
This is quite interesting. It is similar to something I've heard somebody else tell me once before. But they weren't a construct. Not like you. There's many written stories and texts about other realms and how they're similar to this one, overlapping. That people never fully go, but they're connected by mind, body, or soul.
I
Hmm.
see. So, did I travel to a different realm?
Maybe it is possible, but why now? Why here? So many questions.
At that, Alphonse will call out. Sorry to interrupt the good mornings. The bridge up here is ruined somewhat. We're gonna need your help in fixing it.
Oh. We should help with that.
Yes, let me wake the frog.
Mm.
I'll keep it in mind though. Tell me if it happens again. It's very interesting.
Okay. We'll let you know.
She nods and does a small bow.
Cool. Alphonse will approach the bridge, Flopper and Quentin in tow. Right, lads, don't suppose either of you know any carpentry, do you?
Oh, certainly not. I don't have much need for it. Usually just jump across or swim across. Just
Well, the privileges of you being amphibious, I think is the correct term, don't extend to the rest of us.
sadly not.
You're a druid, right? Can you shape the wood in any way?
That's
the
I
water.
can shape earth, but not the wood, sadly. Shape the earth?
Yes.
Most of the earth here is cobbled. But if you could perhaps create some kind of stone bridge, or is it only for something a bit softer?
I don't think so, sadly. I think the water would pull it away.
The water at the point you have to cross is between 10 and 15 feet deep. To get mold earth to work, you would probably need 3 to 4 hours. And that is
Yeah.
presuming you have a successful attempt at building a small dam here to make the rest of it workable.
Exactly.
Perhaps up ahead with that little. Is this a fall or just a narrow?
It's a very small fall. It's about 5 feet.
Yeah.
It looks like at some point the stone here was hewn, like it was a ornamental feature. That nature is slowly kind of eroded at.
Would you be able to clog up those 2 points, essentially damming it? And we could cross, and then, of course, you could return the water. I understand your people have certain practices around nature.
Yes, destroying the nature is not ideal. But I think me and Pulse can maybe jump on the other side, start working from there.
Yeah,
Is this a
Some
full
just,
tree?
No, it's a stump.
Ah, damn it.
well, there's plenty of logs, wood. If we were to throw something in, you mold earth around it, it should effectively dam it, at least until it starts overflowing. So if we're quick, and then you deconstruct it, it should be fine, yes?
Right. First things first. Frosk, I get you trying to chip wooden planks.
Oh,
Pick up the bundle here, get it to the other side. We'll have to pass through here again. So if this works, we'll have to repeat it.
sure thing.
Thank you. Sick.
We'll have to make
Right.
a more permanent
Sure.
structure at a later point.
Strawberry?
He'll take the strawberry and slowly nibble at it. Thank you, Frosk.
You're welcome. Picks a bundle of wood and yeet.
Yep. Does the frog thing and ignores the natural hazards.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yep. Sick. Alright. With the combined efforts of the two frogs, it takes about 45 minutes to establish it in a way that is serviceable, that will bear the weight of the people walking across without it giving. Flopper is able to use the wood, as Quentin had suggested, as a foundation or a structure to mold the earth around, and with the wood's rigidity, sort of wedge it between the stones to help offset the water itself, creating a small period of time that it can be crossed safely. Everyone gets to go to the other side. Yippee!
Lovely. Well, let's be quick, people. This is not stable structures.
But frogs were useless.
Once everyone has passed, we will open up again. The river.
Did anyone say frogs are useless?
Alphonse
Alphonse
nods to
said
your,
it didn't worth it. For all of us, to be fair.
I think he said, I think it was a general statement.
Yeah, just summed up everyone.
He nods as Flopper releases the water and it flows once more. Right, that was nice work. Good job. Won't be too long now. We'll be beyond the city and back on the trail. Quick steps. Is there anything the party want to attempt to do while traveling for the second day?
Not particularly. Spinny's just like checking ahead like she did in the first day, making sure like everything's safe.
Yep. You can roll a survival check, just to be sure in case there's anything to spot.
I'm just gonna try and see if we can find any road signs, anything that indicates old road travel.
We'll also be looking for any sign of worms, even if they are unlikely.
Absolutely wonderful.
Yeah,
If you could find
that's
yourself
a-
a waystone.
It's a nature check.
I would probably be thinking about the dream, what they told me. If I can still recall any religion of sorts. Or anything.
Nothing here.
I'll keep that in mind, though there's nothing that immediately jumps to mind.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Flopper, you are wormless. Quentin, you spot what should be some signs, but there are no carvings or paintings upon them. It is not an uncommon sight in places of architecture that have been impacted by the Age of Ashen names. It is almost as if somebody filled in the gaps and smoothed over whatever edges remained. So any boulevards or road names or statements have been scrubbed clean.
Is the decorations upon them still noticeable?
Decorations in what sense?
Is it like carved stone or just like a road sign?
It's like a road sign, like a varnished wood road sign made to withstand high winds.
Okay. You'll probably just take a few notes on how it was made and then move on.
The next day, as Flopper had predicted, is one filled with clear skies. The sun meanders on its aimless path across the sky, casting curious shadows that move with an unseen momentum. Some scholars propose that its movements indicate a sound, a pattern perhaps. Others think that it is the heartbeat of the world itself, pulsing Pandoran energy as magic through the veins of all creatures who stand under its light. Whatever mystery the sun holds, it does not hold a candle to the great eye that stared upon Spinny. And so the march on this day is less filled with quiet camaraderie, but more the question of 1,000 stories that none yet are left alive to answer. Once more, it is possible to find a spot to rest. It is up upon a hill. There are tents here, or at least the framings of some, that Alphonse and Carmine speak on shortly, discussing predecessors or others that might know of this trail before they had traveled it. They settle in and light a fire. That is it. Right, dinner's on me this time. I loved your soup, Mr. Flopper. Very protein heavy, a little crunchy. Good stuff. But I packed some buck. So we got some thick, fat, juicy cuts of meat. We got some veggies, some roots. It'll be a bit better for the final day. He begins to assemble a great big stew.
Smells delicious.
Well, it ought to be. Have to compete and beat your uncle now, don't I?
Yes, you do. It won't be easy.
He squints harder. You see he produces a small sachet and opens it, and there's some assortment of seasonings that he sprinkles into the soup.
What is that?
Well,
Oh,
seasoning. Tastes good. Oh.
Rash.
Yes. Oh. Miss Spinny, I'm making soup. they don't need your.
What's going on?
She's giving you the ration.
I'm
ration.
trying to give you a ration.
Oh. Thank you.
Thank you for the dream.
Oh, you're welcome.
Not.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
It was good dream.
Grumbles. Stirs. soup.
Wonderful. Picasso. She turns around and gives a ration to Savar.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
I'll exchange one with you actually.
She gets it and she looks at it confused.
I'll keep it safe for you. Aisling.
Thank you kindly. She'll just take it.
Bon appetit. Nods.
Rumbles even louder.
Gives ration to Flopper.
Thank you.
No worries.
This could be a great breakfast.
Spinny goes to put the, the ration on his beard.
Now, well, thank you. I'll keep it for later. Someone is obviously cooking at the moment, and it might seem as a bit rude to be feeding people before they're fed. Just saying.
Oh.
But thank you. It's just, something to keep in mind.
Oh,
If you want, you
I
can roll a
see.
perception check, though.
Oh.
You roll a perception check.
Oh.
No.
No!
That's the most important role.
Nope.
Unfortunate.
I wonder who's the rude one.
And she's gonna come here and sit down.
As the night presses onwards, Alphonse serves heaping bowls of a hearty stew. The brown broth is well seasoned with a mixture of dried herbs and cracked pepper is the closest guess, though it seems to be some kind of dwarven crop. The chunks of meat are fatty but well rendered within the heat of the broth, and it is overall a very homely and filling meal. You notice, even though Carmine cannot, that the bowl that Alphonse gives him is heaped twice as high. An odd gesture, in considering their usual interactions. Thank you.
Must say, amongst all the
Thank you.
unusualness of this whole adventure, I was expecting it to be a bit more perilous and less, homely, truth be told.
It's more that you're here to secure against that. These passes, I haven't walked them since he passed. So it's unknown. Camps like this one pop up every now and then, and, well, desperate folk tend to act desperately. I'm glad we haven't seen much of anyone.
Bandit sightings, I take?
I suppose you could call them that. Less career criminals and more people down on their luck and can't quite manage in more civilized places.
Guess it's a bit of a trepidation to call down upon someone who's wronged you. Have you perhaps known some of these people? Or at least able to empathize with them?
I've heard stories of people when, I suppose you'd know it, when people come back, they're not always quite right. You yourself have professed to missing memories in a great big house all to your lonesome. There's the reality that not everybody comes back whole. So
Yes, I suppose if you're speaking about them, I do understand. I thought you were simply speaking of the, those are simply just wanting what you have.
still, let's hope for another quiet night.
How long ago was it since your father passed? Don't
3
mind me
years.
asking.
3 years. He was an old man. Older than time itself, I used to joke.
In a way, that's true.
It is. I miss him. Suppose that's obvious. But he was a good man. He was good to us. It was family. He looks towards Carmine. I hope in the future I can be a man he can be proud of. He'll dig into the soup.
What would make your father proud of you?
He'll pause. There's the swift intake of breath from the man beside you, Mr. Carmine, as he pauses and anticipates the answer too. I suppose it would be if I could manage to find my mother. He asked me to return this to her. And he will raise his hand and point out the silver-banded ring that sits on his thumb, the pale speckles of amethyst dotting the metal. He, on his deathbed, he held me close. And even then, he said, these hands are too broken to hold love anymore. So she'd be better off with the ring. He said it kept him fed and warm, even when she wasn't around. It was the last thing he asked of me. A final gift of love that I could bestow upon another. She's not in that God's forsaken city. I don't even know if she's alive. So if the answer is what would make my father proud, I suppose it would be doing what he has asked. He weeps openly, and the soft tink of a utensil in a bowl echoes from your other side, Frost.
Looks at Carmine.
Alphonse, our father was a good man. You're a fool if you don't think he was proud of you now. The man you have continued to be even in his absence. You will find our mother, I hope. But I'm not foolish enough to know that Dad's soul isn't content. He fed you your fill, and he still had plenty more to give. But what is the point? What's the point in holding on to this ring, and the shop, and the job, and the name? She was never there. Never. That ring kept him happy, but it reminds me every day of what I never had. If it was because of the age, maybe I could accept it. But it was after. He was still whole enough to remember her face. He was still whole enough to know the warmth of her hand in his. I just wish she could have been there when he passed. So too, brother. Wherever she is, whatever boundaries need to be crossed to find her, you know I've always been here for you. Maybe you should take the ring. No.
Don't
Alphonse
shame
sets-
you now.
He sets it down. Go ahead.
Boy, don't shame yourself now. Everyone knows. Everyone passes on burdens. When I woke up in my house, there were plenty of momentums left behind. Things that told me I shouldn't be here by myself, but I was. Carry a few of them with me. They hurt me to carry every day, but they let me know that I felt something. I was something. That there was time. That I had more than what I had now. And every man goes through something like that. What you're doing, taking the life and history of a man you love and respect, and you just put it on the ground. Don't shame yourself like that.
He'll move the ring to his palm. Tears weeping and staining a well-kept beard and mustache. Splattering on his hand and dancing in the firelight reflected in silver and amethyst.
Perhaps it wasn't the love for you, but it's still his love. If that matters to you, then hold on to it.
He will close his hand around the ring, nodding slowly. I'm sorry y'all had to see that.
You're not the first to have to go through it.
No one should ever apologize for feeling. Mr. Alphonse, you are under the impression that just because your father has passed away, he's no longer with you. You are under the impression that just because your mother was not there, she was absent. But from the stories you tell of your father, I would say your mother was always there by his side, even in his final moments. And if I may be so bold, I believe your father lives on in your actions, in your shop, in your love for him, in your love for your brother, in this travel you've put yourself up to, in this meal you've cooked. We are proof that an ending is simply the beginning of something else. After the Age of Ashen Names came an age of reclamation. Perhaps that is not the end either, but the beginning of a new journey. You should not lose hope.
His hand shakes, clutching the ring with a tightness that is expressive of the weight that he feels on his shoulders. As the words are taken in, and tears flow from a well-manicured beard into the soft soil underneath, stains dance along the earth itself. The fire begins to dim. The cold begins to set in. Alphonse simply nods. The weight of his grief is not something to be expressed with words. He has tried that already, in angry exchanges with his brother. You realize that they are not things that he can express to strangers, not directly. For the grief that he feels over the passing of his father is not a different form of anger to rally against the world. It is a love, as you have said. It's finally setting in that his discomfort is in the fact that the love has nowhere to go. This is the beginning of a story. It is the beginning of a story of a son who has lost one that he cared for. And forever will the etchings of his impact hold that fact true in the ink that stains the pages, like his tears stain the dirt below him. Alphonse settles in to sleep, though he knows in the coming night respite will not come to him. But he knows he must accept that too.
During the night when everyone starts to go to bed, Quentin would like to approach Alphonse.
Yep. As you approach his sleeping bag, You see his eyes are open and he is looking up to the night sky above. He sort of tilts his head as he hears your soft footsteps.
Figured you wouldn't be asleep.
Too
Mind
much
if I,
tonight.
You told us a story earlier. Mind if I tell you one real quick?
He'll sort of sit up a little bit.
I told you that I woke up in that house by myself. A place with clear history, that there were more. All the pictures empty, everything rusted, and nothing resembling anyone I ever knew surviving. A few trinkets here and there that seemed personal I've kept with me. The hat will shake a little bit. But assuming that I was in a house with so many people in it, so that it surely, eventually, someone would show up. So I stayed in the little town I was in. Thankfully, it was decently populated, albeit the age had caused a bit of chaos, but we were a bit excluded. Seemed to be some kind of small farming village, as far as I could tell. I waited. My neighbors were kind and fed me. I seemed to be a bit of a learned man, trying to help out and with development where I could. But for the most part, I spent my days sitting in my house. I waited years. After about a decade without a single person that was knocking on my door that wasn't just one of my neighbors, I don't know what's happened exactly. All I know is that one night I just took some logs out of the fireplace and just threw them into the rest of my house. It started burning almost immediately. I guess the old dust and woods just simply wasn't able to resist it anymore. I just walked out to the back and laid next to a gravestone I don't know who belonged to. And laid down next to it, and I just kind of thought I'd wait there. That's when my neighbor showed up, and the nice lady who had been feeding me came over and nearly beat me senseless. Yelled and screamed at me, telling me I'm a fool. What have I done? I don't really think I heard any of it, really. And then she started weeping. She confessed to me she wanted to do the same. And she'd been thinking of doing it ever since they first woke up. That she couldn't stand this either. That she couldn't deal with all the emptiness. She had a husband, apparently. It was a bit more evident than my house who lived there. She didn't know what he looked like. She had a couple kids, so she had an idea, but it's just... She said she felt the need still. Not that way, but you know what I mean. It's just... I don't know, I just started crying with her. And then she told me, what now? What if they do show up? We live long, a decade is nothing, and then I destroyed the one thing they might be able to recognize, the one thing that might, what I assume my family might be. I have no connection to them anymore, other than myself. No way to reach out other than to walk out and find them. So I started walking. Don't try to abandon the things that hurt you. It just leaves you a bit emptier than when you started.
Alphonse is a good listener. His eyes are bright. His expressions interact in a way that isn't intrusive to the words that you say. Even as you leave off on a wise statement. Gives himself pause before asking. Where is that lady you wept with now?
She was human. Her grandkids are doing quite well. I'm a bit of a pen pal with her grandkids.
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh. It's a kind.
No, it's a nice thing. They keep me up to date about any gnomes that pass through. They make sure to inform them about who I am. The Hatch is a bit of an easy gnomer. But they're doing well. I send money back every once in a while when I can.
Oh, Mr. Quinton. I hope someday one of those letters will reunite you with at least someone you know. Even if they don't, sounds like they bring good memories.
Of those that I have. Well, I'm old and I need my sleep, so I'm going to leave you to your thoughts for now. You do yourself good and get some rest as well. We're going to have a lot of work ahead, and you'll need to stay sharp.
You will nod. Settling back down. In the low crackling of the fire, night begins in earnest. Fatigue, though not in its extremes, wastes at your calves and at your thighs. The upward climb will always take its toll. Ashling and Spinny, I would presume that you wait the 4 hours before getting some rest.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can both of you roll me a perception check, please? Perhaps it is due to the weariness of sleep, is the term they seem to use. Spinny finds their concentration twisted. The tiredness in their body conflicts with the visions they'd seen in their mind of their unbreathing, unmoving companions. But Ashling's ear for music picks it up almost immediately. Within the wind that whistles throughout the mountain tops nearby, through the various caverns and tunnels, there is a rhythm, a music, a familiar sound at this point, 2 days in. But there's an undercurrent. Ashling, as you look towards the sky, clear as Flopper had predicted, starlight illuminates a shadow overhead. It is not circling nor looking towards you, but it flaps great wings and then begins to descend. In its offset from you, you can presume that along the mountain's edge there are forests. You've seen the canopies. Within those forests are game animals, buck and deer, very much like that which you had as a meal today. But as the beast swoops, it drops lightning fast. And within the rhythm of wind singing through mountain tops, you hear what is usually fabled as a easy pawn for tourists. People selling dragon whistles, curved, adorned wood with many permeations in them, so that sound and air can squeeze through the narrow gaps. But in this case, it is no facsimile. It is a large creature hurtling towards the earth at speeds that are almost too fast to see. Their horns, you would assume, of solid keratin, almost like teeth, seem, at least to your ear, to be made of something lighter. And as it descends, there's a keening shriek before a dull thud, and the music returns.
I think she just watches it all in awe, unsure if the stories she's heard all along are playing tricks in her mind, or if that they believed hard enough that the stories became reality. But I don't think she dares to sneak to try and see. But she holds on to that. And probably watches until the minute she must simply fall into slumber to see if there's any more movement.
No more shadows are cast against the starlight above you, as the needed slip into trance awaits you. Spinny, do you attempt to power down and get some rest?
Yeah.
Do you curl up into a ball?
Yeah, she does.
Powerful. Slowing down the pace of the cogs within your form, except for those within your mind. Your body enters a slow, dull rhythm. The ticking noises that are covered by leather and plates of metal dull to an imperceptible movement. Till light begins to dance across your eyelids. Morning has come. You feel re-energized.
Beanie will return from her ball form and will stand up, waiting for everybody else to do the same.
I think you'll find Ashling awake before you, with a lyre in her hand just staring at the fire that has long gone off. But like her gaze is completely empty, as if she's not really here.
She will approach her. She seems to look over you, all around, trying to figure out what's going on.
No reaction.
Webb's hand across the face.
Good morning. My apologies. Hope you rested well.
I was able to rest well. How about you? You seem concentrated on that spot.
I suppose I'm waiting for inspiration to find me. Hopefully before everyone wakes up. I've quite a story to tell.
Oh, I see. Did you find something interesting?
I've perhaps Mr. Silverworth's father's stories were not quite as far-fetched as the others may believe they are. I'm afraid I have little information aside from a unique sighting.
I see.
She looks around.
Do you think it will be safe going ahead?
I haven't the slightest clue. But that's what makes a travel, is it not? The unexpected that we find along the way.
Yes, that sounds about right. I just hope the unexpected doesn't find us first.
Only the fates know.
She nods.
Alphonse begins to pack his stuff away as Carmine grumbles awake. Similarly begins to pack it. Hey, Frosk, you awake? Good morning.
Barely.
You got a strawberry? I thought I heard you saying it earlier.
Of course. Sorry, you haven't gotten one yet.
Oh, he'll eat it happily.
I have one more.
Oh, you're too kind. Thank you. No.
Last night was rough, huh?
It can get like that around this time. A lot of emotion.
You see that? I hope you and your brother can reconcile.
We will. I trust that it'll happen.
Me too.
We'll finish packing and sort of walk over, stamping out the last embers of the fire.
Quentin will collect his stuff, simply nod, and Alphonse.
Nods.
Once everyone is awake and sort of packed up, Aisling will sort of get up to get everyone's attention. And she'll say, after everyone had gone to sleep yesterday, I don't need quite a long rest. I was up just staring at the sky, and it's quite hard to explain, really. So instead I shall show, if everyone's okay with that.
Yeah.
I will start to pull the strings on my lyre, and you see iridescent colors just almost move as the melody itself takes the image of what I witnessed last night, and I will cast silent image.
Oh. Curious. You said you saw this over the night?
Indeed.
I knew the stories were true.
Is this a dragon? Or a worm?
Flopper, roll me a nature check, please.
Ooh. Yes.
It is difficult to make out, as the strings of Pandoran energy resonate with the strings of the lute and sort of compose this image. You see, almost from Ashling's perspective, the night sky and the many twinkling stars. It is difficult to get the sense of scale of the creature, as it is merely the absence of light where its form would have blocked the light of the stars themselves. But in its hurtling and in the high-pitched whistling notes that the melody proceeds to play, you would presume this either to be a very large wyvern or an adolescent dragon, worm, whatever the beast that would be a step above them is, which presumably to you is dragon.
It must be. It's too big to be a mere bird or eagle or anything like that.
Isn't it quite impressive? Something that big moving so fast?
Exactly. It has to be.
Well, I guess we certainly have to keep our guard up then, if there's going to be such a beast flying around. An adolescent dragon is, well, it's a child, and anything that's a wyvern or another kind of worm, from my
But-
understanding, are mostly beastly in nature.
Isn't it strange that nobody else heard the noise? You described it as the whistling.
You were all deep in slumber. That's really all the explanation I have.
That was, that's quite a trick that you can show things like that. The sound is moving.
The bardic arts are a strange thing. Moving, though.
If you'd like, I shall sing for your father as well, once we reach our destination.
The idea gives him pause for a fraction of a second before he nods. Yeah. Speaking of, we're just a few hours out. We can get going. The impact of the performance itself has helped sculpt the story in a way that it would not have otherwise. So with the cards in tow and packs upon shoulders, Alphonse steps out in earnest. Just a few more hours to his father's grave.
While walking, Flopper is not looking at the floor, only in the sky.
Would you like to make me a perception check? Do you have Arcana proficiency, Flopper?
Oh no.
Unfortunate.
Like
roll
like
your
a
guidance D4 on perception, please.
Oh. Potent.
Flopper. You notice this high up, even as you're walking, and you stumble once or twice as you're looking. You're trying to discern the mechanisms by which those creatures can even exist, and how they exist up here, and where are they, and what are the sights or signs of them. And you spot something. It isn't a great beast or the sound of flapping wings, but instead, you notice how nature here has changed. It isn't in the soil nor the plants. Perhaps you could find it in the absence of large mammalian life or other indications. But the main thing you notice is the air. Squinting your eyes slightly in this altitude, you note that even above the peaks of the mountains, you can see currents. Almost like streams of water in the ocean that flow and shift and maneuver. It would likely carry small birds and other flying creatures along its momentum without their will, but an intelligent creature could use these to accelerate to impressive speeds, and could be a method of flight for such a larger creature.
Interesting.
Papa Wood pointed out to Quentin. Am I imagining this, or can you also see the flow above the mountain?
He'll look up.
Perception with advantage, because you're being assisted. DC 10.
Perception with advantage. I'm gonna need that advantage. I'm not a wise man.
You get a +3 anyway. Okay, you rolled a 1 on your first one. God bless. With Flopper's guidance, you also see these air currents that seem to shift and move independent of any mountainous or terrain-based impact. An Arcana check, if you wish.
Ooh, most certainly. Finally. There it is.
Quentin. A curious thing about magic is that in many ways it is the manifestation of one's will and one's soul. Just as you have the capacity to use spells such as control flames, you have met others that can do similar, but the manifestations are different. Perhaps the flames are a different color or a higher intensity. Though the impact of the spell is always comparable, the visual of it isn't. And this is often denoted as a difference of soul or will of the wielder. To extrapolate from that, the way you cast is by channeling this Pandoran energy. It is a biological byproduct that all living creatures produce, in addition to the anomaly of Warforged. The presence of Pandora in an area has already been proven to alter the biological impacts and often geological formations. The easiest example of that is the emergence of druidic magic to physically alter with intent an area. But there is no reason that a living creature that could produce enough of this energy wouldn't be able to do it subconsciously. So whether these airflows are an intentional spellcraft or a symptom of their existence, this is a magical formation, and you know that for certain.
This is I'd use the word artificial, but that wouldn't quite match what I'm saying. This is the magic, I believe, conjured forth. I would assume by whatever was spotted last night, but I'm not certain that by any matter. Something had to have caused it to happen.
It has to be dragons. I know it. It has to be.
But calm down. It doesn't necessarily have to be on purpose or the mere existence of such things could cause it to happen. From my understanding, dragons might, especially amongst the oldest of them, which mostly spoken in tales, a few pieces picked up here and there, infect the very environment in which they live in, shape it by merely being there.
I know one thing for certain. I'm not sleeping tonight.
Well, again, it doesn't really change anything. If a giant flying beast decides that you're its meal, it probably want to be asleep rather than awake.
I mean, I want to see it.
Oh.
Flying. My own eyes.
Oh, I assumed it was a moment of fear, not foolish.
No.
Well, there you go. This is the best answer I can give you at the moment.
Thank you. It's most helpful.
Thank you for the assistance for spotting it. My eyes are a bit old.
The trek on the final day is not quite so long. Just a handful of hours. Traversing and climbing and descending, almost in equal measure. Till finally Alphonse points out a side path, one that curves in and around the mountain. It's just along here. There was another settlement at some point, and well, he used to tell me stories, so I came and found it. He'll gesture and then begin to move. Winding his way around.
Quite a people for water features.
Yeah, listen, water's kind of necessary for everything.
No. No, it's not disrespectful, it's just an observation. It's important. For them, it seems like it was less of a necessity, more of something they wish to integrate within their own society. These waterways speak to what your people enjoyed, the things they spent time with, the dedications of their hard work.
Aye. I'm just going to move him over there because all the tokens are overlapping, and I don't want to deal with that. He's just behind Alphonse.
Also to think that they've gone untended, and yet, while they are weathered, their structure still seems good. Once more speaking to dwarven craftsmanship.
As each of you cross the bridge, you notice assembled on this part where the waters break is a cairn. A set of standing stones held above cracked stonework, where presumably the body itself is buried. The cairn is not made of the surrounding stones upon the mountain, nor is it made of the elaborate brickwork that is evident throughout all of these dwarven pieces of architecture. From this perspective, standing before the site of his father's rest, you see that the cairn stones are in fact hollow and open towards you. As light dances along the water's edge, so too does it dance within the openings of these stones. Pale pink light is refracted against stacked amethyst geodes. It is an overt and gaudy gesture, and as Alphonse looks upon it, he weeps openly. For 1,000 pink crystals reminds him of his mother, such that 1,000 pink petals reminded his father of her. Last vestiges and simple sentimentality disregard the price or gold value of such an object. As he falls to his knees, bathing within the light. Carmine, though blind, kneels beside his brother. The words they exchange are buried in the ripples of the water above, and echoed in the staining of the stone beneath them and between them. They clasp the ring between their hands and mutter what could be considered a prayer, what could just be two souls trying to reach to another that is out of their grip. But in this moment, the family is unified. Quiet. As the rushing water slows and begins to give way, rain begins to cascade. That is where I will end this one shot.